He despertado, encadenado. Oh, vela, chao, chao, chao. La tierra mía me la han robado y han incendiado mi país. Abran sus ojos, hay un tirano. Oh, vela, chao, chao, chao. Ese tirano desde su torre nuestras cadenas ha de ver. El movimiento de libertad. Oh, vela, chao, chao, chao. Es para todos, es un gran fuego que nuestra isla salvará. Juntos peleamos, solo morimos. Oh, vela, chao, chao. Quememos todo hasta cenizas y volveremos a empezar. Podrán golpearme, ametrallarme. Oh, vela, chao, chao. Con mi sonrisa ensangrentada, nuestra lucha continuará. Y si me muero, lo haré riendo. Oh, vela, chao, chao. Y si mi cuerpo arde en las llamas, serán llamas de libertad.
What's going on, everybody? How are you? I didn't realize I had this screen. On. That's my own bad. Yeah, absolutely. I had those Far Cry jams. It's not just that, it's that song in general. I've realized that song itself is actually a really good song. Like, check this out. This is another cover of that song. It's a classic Italian song. Check this guy out. Ciao, bella, ciao, ciao, ciao. Love it. It's just a great song. And there's a rock, there's a like a ska version of it as well. Fuck, I'm all in it. Let's go, buddy. Look at this guy. Look at this guy right here. How do you think this guy does? I think he does okay. What do you think? I think this dude does just fine. Look at this guy. He's got the chain. He's got the stuff hanging out. You know, he knows what's up. All right, let's go back to our regular playlist. I don't know why I wanted to start like that. Anyways, we're hanging out. I really just actually didn't. I just went to this screen just to see it, and I'm like, oh shit, it's been on the whole fucking time. Fuck. The mic's on. Yikes. If you've never heard Wheeler Walker, you should probably do it. Oh man, Wheeler Walker's the best. All right, how are you guys doing? Oh boy, I'm rolling everywhere. Rolling. So my apartment is, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's an old house. And we roll around a lot. It is very uneven floors in here, like to a comedic level. If I did like some of the, gotta do this first. Hold. Money and bitches. It's just jokes, folks. Wheeler Walker, if you don't know that Wheeler Walker's joking, like people actually get offended about his stuff. It's comedy, folks. Calm down. Just chill the fuck. If you can't tell that Wheeler Walker is comedic, then I don't know what I have for you. I really don't. I really don't know what I have for you. Anyways, I hope you guys are doing well. It's Friday. I'm halfway ripped and ready for some riffs. I was just saying to the missus, that actually should be like, that should be a t-shirt. Halfway ripped and ready for some riffs, and just fresh off work for the week. And man, it was a long week, guys. It's a long week. It's getting close to the end of the year for me, and I'm going to be off for a couple of months. I cannot wait. I'm going to be hanging out with you guys a lot more. And guys, I'm going to be honest with you. If you're wondering why I haven't been streaming a lot, I honestly just been kind of busy, kind of just maybe unmotivated. We're just waiting on some stuff right now with NAM Universal. We're very excited about that. That's going to have big news. You might be wondering what happened to that. Well, that is, we finally have our beta, and I'm going to be showcasing the beta for you guys next weekend. Next weekend on Friday, I do believe. We have a large disc golf event next Friday, and I'm looking forward to that. So I will not be here Saturday, but Friday and Sunday, good possibilities. I hope you guys are doing well, by the way. I've had it's been a long week, but stream it up, having a Coca-Cola over here. Got my Iceman in my hands. Now we're good. This stream was motivated. And it was motivated by a comment. I'm going to crank my vocals back a little bit here. All right. It was motivated by a comment that I saw. Is the vocal still good? Hopefully. All right, guys. So it was motivated by a comment. I saw a bunch of people talking about heavy amp sims. Fuck. Sometimes, like, I cannot. I would have to clone myself twice. 2 times I would have to clone myself just to sit online and deal with amp sim stupidity. I'm going to call it that. I'm going to call it, whether it's fanboys of one company just shit talking every other company when they have no idea. They've never even tried the trials, never tested these plugins, never done. They're just shit talking because they either don't know the company, no, I've never heard of that company, or it's not a rant here, guys. Just like, follow me here. And you see so often that these conversations, you can always tell when it's like a shill or a fanboy leading the conversation in some way, shape, or form. Like that dude. I'm not even going to get started on that dude. There's one dude, very, very classic. If you know who he is, if you know the, what was he? Engaged, what was his name again? Zach something or other. He used to go around and do that sort of thing and shill for companies and go online and just get in like beefs and try to steer like certain forums and certain groups a certain way. Now, in this case, the Brainworx plugin alliance stuff came up, and someone's like, hey, is this stuff any good? And you could just see it was a list of people that had never fucking tried these plugins at all. And I could not help but get involved, and got involved in the conversation and said, you don't know a lick of fuck what you, and none of you guys know a lick of fuck what you're talking about. It's saying that these amps are obsolete, they're not legit, they have nothing heavy in their lineup. Are you kidding? That just alone saying they have nothing heavy in their lineup is just tells me that you didn't even go and fucking look what was in the lineup. So let's go through our lineup today. I handpicked the best of the best of the best of the heavy amp sims from Brainworx Plugin Alliance. And if you're wondering what is the difference, well, Brainworx is the developer, and they develop under, they sell all their stuff essentially exclusively through Plugin Alliance. They used to be owned by the same person, a guy whose name was Dirk Ulrich. And Dirk just semi-recently sold the company. Now just getting into a little backstory, every single one of these plugins that we're going to be testing today were coded and developed by Igor Nembrini, who now runs Nembrini Audio. One thing Igor is famous for is having plugins that have lasting power. Everything he's ever made is still legit, whether you use it, whether he made it 10 years ago or 12 years ago or recently. So the guy's very good. He's top 3 top 3 amp sim developers, the coders. We're talking top 3 in that craft in the entire world. Now, so these were all developed and designed by him prior to or even some of them after he's got Nembrini audio started. Now, just looking through here, yeah, vocals are good. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you. Okay, so now what we're getting at here is that these guys have been around for a really, really long time. They predate Neural DSP, they predate STL Tones, they predate so many companies out there, and I still feel like I'm shouting, and it still sounds loud. All right, hang on. It sounds a bit, yeah, right, that's a bit strong. Sounds good. Hopefully that's better for you guys. Now, if I can just tell, we can always just tell when these conversations get to snowball, and you can see like, nah, that shit sucks, or that shit's not good, you know, that stuff came out so fucking long ago, blah 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 blah. Oh, because it doesn't have a transposer and a tuner and everything you fucking, every single possible nook and cranny that you could need under the hood. You might have to build a, oh no, egads, you might have to build a signal chain. Somebody just fainted. What do you mean build a signal chain, boss? I don't know how to do it. Just, we'll get there. Now, you got to be able to make your own signal chain. Sounds crazy to say it out loud. You have to be able to make your own signal chain to use these plugins, essentially. They don't come with standalones, and maybe that's what people are looking at. Well, that shit's obsolete. Why? Because it doesn't have a standalone? Come on. You gotta want for more. You know what I mean? You gotta want for quality. Now, not just like bells and whistles. What is the quality like when you strip off the bells and whistles? What is the quality like? Now, in this case, I'm going to admit to you fully that the one worst thing about these plugins is when you go to the effects rack. The worst thing about these plugins is when you go to the impulse response window. It is fucking horrible. It's awful. And it's never going to change. They're not going to go back. Currently, Igor is no longer with Brainworx Plugin Alliance, so they're not going back to redo these. These are stuck the way they are. And if that means it's obsolete to you, then I guess so. Even though a lot of people are using their own IRs anyways these days. So really, if you use your own IRs, this is even more perfect because you can just hit this RC off button right here and it just goes away. Or you can go on some of the older ones require you to go to the top file, hit down. And in this case, it doesn't have it, but you'll see in some of the other ones will have no recording chain, meaning you can't just turn off the IR. You have to go in and select the no file kind of slot in. You will see when we get there. These, however, are the worst. Look at this thing. Look at this damn thing. I go to this arrow. Let's see how long it takes me to get to the bottom. Holy smokes. Did you see how long that was? Good God. Good sweet Jesus. That was way too fucking long. And some of them have even more. And I'm not complaining necessarily because that means it's got a lot of files. And sure, you can just audition them one by one by going the plus and minus. Sure, if you'd like, no problem. You can do it that way. But in this case, in many cases, I just turn them off. However, that being said, they also have something unique. In this current file, if I hit RC recording chain info, it actually tells me the cabinet, the microphone, the preamp, and the EQ used for that particular IR, which is nice. I mean, that's cool. They don't just, just aimlessly and autonomously, or rather anonymously throw these files in there and just be like, okay, that's American 412. I don't know what that is. It could be anything. Oh my God. This is a Mesa Boogie rectifier, 4FB. They give you all the specs, vintage 30s, and so on. So that's nice to have should you want. Now going through the standard recording chain. Oh, you got to click that off. You can't just okay. The standard recording chain in most of these plugins is the same. You have the little loader here. You have the high and low pass filter, the tight and the smooth. That's essentially the high and low pass the filters. We're just not going to use any of that. There's a gate, which is nice. And then you have a delay, and you have some other things in here that can be fun as well. And you also have the power soak feature, which is pretty cool, kind of acts like a bit of an attenuator, which is nice to have. You can also bypass the power amp, bypass the preamp, and just use the power amp so you can kind of mix and match different things, which is super fun if you're interested in getting, you'd have to get a little bit more in depth, but maybe another time. Now, let's go down the lineup of the not heavy plugins that the Plugin Alliance and Brainworx have. These are not, there's nothing heavy in this list whatsoever. This dude was perfectly correct. There's nothing heavy in their lineup or legit at all. This is the claim. So let's see if we can refute that. We've got a rocker gain, which is based on, this is another thing. It was like, oh, there's people hate on the non-licensed stuff for some reason. We have this like growing bunch of AMP SIM users that hate on non-licensed. It requires licensing to be good. We know that's bullshit, but this is going to give you a little bit of both. So this is the rocker gain, which is obviously the rocker vert. Rock Rack. Now this is I believe the first plugin that they put out, but this has a whole bunch of different amps inside it. The Metal BX 666 is in here. That is an amp that was designed by Igor Nembrini in-house. And then they have a Clean 800. Okay. You have the Clean Angle. You have, as far as I know, this is based on I think this is based on a Roland Jazz. And as far as I know, this is the only plugin really anywhere that is based on such. Why they haven't done another one, who knows? Gosh knows there's a demand for it. So someone out there, I honestly, I feel like that's going to be one of the amps. Apparently the topology and the schematic and everything else is very complex. Don't know this because I'm not a coder, but I've been told by several developers that to do it right is quite a task. So we also have a Crunch 800, but we're looking for metal. So metal, we have the Angle. This is based on the E530. We have the Metal 666, and we have this is based on, I think, a Tremoverb. If I'm not, again, I could be mistaken. This is going back a little ways. This is old. This is by all means an old plugin, but it's a gooder and it's cheap. I've seen this plugin for as low as $5 fucking dollars. $5 for the amount of tone that you get out of this machine. We'll get there. Okay, it's going to be a bit of a long sesh tonight. Hopefully you guys are Mesa Recto. What's going on, Eddie? I hope you guys are feeling fucking good because I'm feeling great today. I'm feeling like I can settle into this chair for a little bit. I'm gonna leave the Shorzy. That's the other reason I haven't wanted to stream on Fridays. I'm gonna be honest. I'm selfish right here. Shorzy, the new season of Shorzy. The episodes come out on Fridays. I get home from work and I just lay into it, pizza and a little Shorzy. And then by the end of that, I'm usually not in too much of shape to go on a stream anyway. So. Just being straight up with you guys. This time we're gonna wait. We're gonna do it with dinner. We're gonna have a nice Friday night out of it. And if you haven't seen the show Shorzy and you like hockey, man, you gotta check it out. Okay, now going down the list here, the Diesel Herbert. Yep, that's not known to be a heavy amp at fucking all, is it? No, a licensed Diesel Herbert, licensed Diesel VH4. Oh, that not a heavy amp at all, right? Nope. This amp has never ever been known to be heavy. I like him. I'm going to lay on the sarcasm pretty thick because the dude's an asshole. And he kept debating me back and forth. And I'm not into it. I'm not going to drop the name of like the forum or anything. I don't want anybody to like jump in there and be all like, arr! But it's just a forum known for just one of my travels. And man, user groups too. Gosh, if you really want to know a lot about amp sims, go to the guitar and bass plugins user group. Ask your questions there. I would honestly, when you go to your developer user groups, those things, man, there are so many shills in there and so many fanboys in there. You're never going to get a straight answer on fucking anything, really. It's all very, very, fanboys are real weird. And when I call people fanboys, I mean those people that are blindly hooked on one developer and refuse to go outside of that developer for any reason. They every time, you know, they do a new amp, these people will call for stuff that other developers, like 7 or 8 other developers out there have done. And you're like, guy, instead of waiting for one company to do this amp, you know, there are a whole bunch of them right out there. Nah, I don't want it about that. I just want just what I want. This is what I want and it's what I want. It's like, okay, I mean, you could easily go like have a ton of fun with a bunch of these, but no, I don't want to hear about that. That's a fanboy and that's blind. The blind loyalty just gets to me. Sorry, guys. Moving along. Next, licensed Angle. This is the Victor Smolsky. And if you don't know who he is, that doesn't shock me. That's okay. He's not a super well-known player in North America. He's in a band. I think they're called Avatar. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's Victor Smolsky and it's Avatar. This is known as the angle. This one's the E646. The other one is, now this one, next one I've done a stream with before. You guys have seen it before. This is the angle. I think we've also done a stream with Brainworx stuff several times in the past. And I just like busting this stuff out once in a while, I guess. But this one I featured specifically because this one was in, I think, our very first stream here on the AMP Sim universe. And this is the angle E765RT retro tube. This thing is fucking awesome. And it has so many good tones under the hood. This thing does incredible cleans, incredible crunch, incredible vintage rock, and it absolutely crushes as well. Are we going to get through all these? Probably fucking no, but we're going to get through a bunch of them. Now, this one, I'm going to be honest, this is almost too much amp for me because this is, but it's like the tweaker's paradise. Maybe too many options sometimes just for me. Some people love the Angle Savage. I love the sounds of it, but when it comes to getting it dialed in, I mean, there's a lot going on in the panel here. Okay, let's move this up so you guys can really, my stupid face isn't in the way. All right. We also had the sewer. What do you guys call it? I say sewer as in like, I don't know. I would phonetically spell it like SOOEUR. I don't know. Sewer. I don't know. I call it sewer. I've also had sure, but anyways, this is the Pete Thorn 100. This amp is again shockingly versatile, and it does have a shocking amount of chug in it. And you might not think it will, but it's, again, this is a sleeper that, and I don't blame people for maybe not hearing about this one. I don't even know that Pete really pushed it that hard. And that guy demos everything. And I don't know that I've seen more than a few demos for this, but this thing's a really, really fun plugin to play around with. I don't know. This song is irritating me today. Do like it though. There we go. There we go. Anyway, so this is the Pete Thorn Signature Edition PT 100. We're going to be using one impulse response across these amps. I know you're thinking, well, you know, why not just use what's on board? And that's fine, but maybe I will, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with some of these. I'm not saying the IRs aren't great, but I'd rather just test them all through one consistent source, which in this case is going to be my EGA 412. And that is from Dr. Bonkers, if you're ever curious. This is my favorite impulse response file ever made. It sounds great with just about everything. It's an angle cabinet. For years, apparently I thought it was. I was under the belief that it was an ignator, but then, yeah, it wasn't. So I figured that out midstream, and you could see the look on my face of just like complete and utter like shock. Like I had no idea. Yeah, that's how dumb I am sometimes. It happens. We're going to be using a few different boost options to push things today. The X drive pedal is probably going to be El numero uno. No, that's another thing. There's no boost section for you. But imagine if there were a billion free tube screamers and tube screamers you could get for like $10. Imagine, what would you say if I told you there's like 25 of those bad boys out there for you right now that you could just put right in front of anything you like? Oh my gosh, amazing, isn't it? Sir. Man, we watched the Blues Brothers. Was it? I think it was last weekend. Man, I cannot tell you how much I love that movie. And we watched like the extended version that I'd never seen before. And she'd never seen it before. And we both kept on looking at each other. We're like, you can always feel when it's like an extended cut that and it's just weird when you're not expecting it. And then you start seeing these weird scenes. And you're like, what the fuck was that? What the fuck? And like a movie you've seen 50 times or 25 times, and you finally find out there's a director's cut or a full cut version of it. Man, you got to watch those. They're fun, man. They can really, especially Ace Ventura. Got to get on that shit. Okay, let's go to the top of the list. Let's go to Rock Rack. That's the one I really wanted to get into first. And I am going to let's go to the lead angle and see what do we got here. Can it still chug? Hold on. Okay, that's definitely two impulse responses. This is the old style, so you got to go to the top. Minus file, no recording chain. We are in business. Don't need two noise gates. Thank you very much. And then we can start building our tone. What we got? All right, is this set up nice? We might need a little relief on this neck, but we're gonna try our best for now. All right, let's turn this up. Okay, so we haven't dialed shit, and this thing is already sounding pretty mean. And you know what, guys? Just so because it's picking, the mic is picking them up. Whoa! I am gonna give it a quick adjustment because I really don't want the mic to pick up the string buzzes. Okay, so what we got. Again, we are looking. Let's get into it. That should do it. And if you're not in the habit of doing your own, neck tension, gosh, you must be paying a fortune to some tech that really, really likes you a lot. You got you. All right. Now the extended scene, yeah, just going to Eddie's comment, the extended scene in Ace Ventura is pretty much mostly him on stage with Corpse, and he's like, that's where he actually like, you guys, see you later. I've got a date with your mothers, and he just like yells at them, and then he also does like some of the singing. If you've never seen the full Cannibal Corpse Ace Ventura scene, it's heavily edited, super edited in the movie, but apparently Jim Carrey really wanted to do more with it, so he ended up doing a bunch more takes so that the band could get paid more money for being there, and a bunch more takes so that apparently he's got private footage of him like just singing random songs with the band. That would be super fun to see. It'll likely never come out. It might be a myth, but we'll see. Yeah, that's not heavy at all, guys. And this is like a 10-year-old plugin, folks. It really, legit. This is like a 10-year-old plugin and it still smokes. Now, if you've never heard of the Angle E530, that thing is one of the most famous preamps all time, is amongst European players. So many rigs for a very, very long time involved the Angle E530, and it is a fantastic preamp. Now, here's another thing, another place I guess that this plugin could potentially be showing its age is that there is no, I caught myself being Canadian there. There is no resizable, there's no vector UI here. I can't drag it and just make it bigger. I can't even go, I don't even think I can go in here. Some of their plugins have a little option up top. No, this one is kind of hardwired to be the size that it is. It's not that it's inconvenient for me, because if you have a big enough monitor, it's not that big a deal. But bands like Necrophagist, Obscura, go look the tier, go look at the list of the bands that have used this. Equipboard is a fantastic website for that, by the way. If you go into Equipboard and look up the Angle E530 preamp and just look at the artists that have used it, it's nonsense. There's so many artists that have used it. And there's a good reason for it. It's tight. It doesn't even, this is not boosted. I don't have a boost pedal running right now. So, and listen how tight this is. See you later, Bo. We'll see you later for sure. I'll be around here this weekend. Yeah, I mean, like, this is still very, very heavy. I don't know what you have to be, thinking. This also, it has this wonderful shred knob. The fucking knob, it says shred. Yeah. But we can make it tighter if we want to. This will be the X Drive from Wavemind, absolutely 100% free. You can, whoa, there's a newer version. Oh, that's right. They did an update. I have to go get that. So this is the X Drive. Maybe a little bit hot in the level. We get some ultra modern action going here. You can get some super djenty tones with these as well. This was sort of a secret weapon to some of the djent bands, from what I was told. They're really, if you're any player looking for that really heavy cutting mid range, this has that. Even though I'm backing off the mids here in the EQ, if I turn that off, like that's too much of the mids for me. Thank you. I just way too much in the mids. It's getting aggressive to my ears, but for you that might be like more mids now. And if it's Manuel's out there somewhere sensing the amount of mids that I'm using, and he's just going, ugh. Manuel being a member of our staff. I can't do pinch harmonics to save my goddamn life. Oh, 2 in a row there. Oh boy. King of the queso, king of the queso. Fuck. How do you listen? Like, oh my gosh. There's just so many bolts here. So much bolts. Go away, noise. I'll nuke the rest of it. Anything I don't nuke with the denoiser, the effector silencer here, it's an absolutely free gate and it works really good. It's super simple to dial in. There are a lot of free and really near free gates, but also this thing right here, the denoiser, guys. I can't say enough about this, and I don't talk about it enough. And I know it needs a significant update that I haven't done yet. Everybody tells me about the little, it drives me crazy. I barely ever have to look at it. But I just want to listen, you guys to listen to how much noise my environment has without this thing running. So check this out. Yeah, that much. That's so much noise from my environment right now. If I turn the pedal off, okay, that's without the pedal. That's a lot of noise right now. And if I even just had the gate, it wouldn't be the same. It's just that you would still hear that noise. You'll hear it. You hear it? Yeah, this takes it and absolutely nukes it, and it's a by donation plugin. You can get the pro version, which is a bit more, but holy shit. If you're living in a place like mine that just has, I've done everything to try. I've tried everything with all the interference that happens in this building. This was the only way. Thanks so much to Jason Zadora for showing me the denoiser. Sorry for the little offshoot, guys, but gosh, I just don't think about this thing enough. It's amazing. Okay, so let's go back to what we were doing. We're going to Rock Rack. I can do that. You want to do the sword? Let's do the sword. Whoops. I nuked the amp, not the pedal. Bwah, wow. And if you haven't checked out the sword, I don't use it enough, guys. I'm sorry. This is our free plugin from Audiority. We have another free plugin, as you're aware, coming out very soon called NAM Universal, and it's gonna be amazing, guys. I'm so excited it's gonna come out. It should have come out, maybe it should be coming out about now, but we got a little bit behind with a few different things. Wavemind also about to do about to drop a really fucking cool brand new series of plugins. Ooh, snap. And what could it be? Well, guys, I can say that Wavemind is going to be into the signature stuff, starting a little smaller and more regional, with a really, really killer band, though, I might add. And then the stuff that they have, that I've helped them kind of connect with some other folks. And guys, they've got some amazing things coming up. I can't wait. I cannot wait for you guys to check out what Wavemind's got coming up. And but for starters, Audiority has something amazing coming up. And if you weren't here in the last stream, I demoed just a beta, a near release beta. Luca has since added a couple of things. It is the meanest, nastiest fucking fuzz pedal that anybody has ever heard or used. I promise you, it is an absolute fucking it's incredible. So you guys, I cannot wait for that. All right, so I'm checking out right now. We're just checking out the lead Angle 530. Let's go to the Metal 666 and we'll get that dialed in. If I can remember how this dials in. It's been a bit, and this is not based on anything. This particular model. This is something that was in-house designed by Igor when he was with the company, and he just added some of his own signature flair to it. Let's check it out. Yes, I know. Now that one's a little bit, maybe a little bit on the dark side. On the dark side. But anything's gonna seem dark to that last amp, though. Honestly, like it's a huge sounding, absolutely like sizzling cutting amp. Yeah. My friend, I have a Furman power conditioner sitting right in front of me. Directly in front of me, in fact. All my shit's been plugged into Furman, the Furman power conditioner. It is a, what do I got here? Furman P1800 PFR. They were nice enough to send that to me back in the day, considerably a little while ago now. They were nice enough to just send it over. They really liked what we were doing, and they're like, just take it, man. If we solve some of it did solve some issues, a lot of issues actually, and still, it also protects all of the stuff that I've plugged into it. Surge protection galore. Nothing would ever fucking touch my gear. Nothing will get it. That is all a really nice peace of mind as opposed to plugging it into just your average power bar, which also have pretty good surge protection for the most part, but nothing is going to nuke my stuff. But that is something I did try. And I also got a shielded cable, and I tried I tried lots of other stuff. And then I was on a session with Jason Zadora, and he does JZIRs. And he's a wizard. The dude is a wizard. Superb dude. I really like him. He's a super nice guy. And he's like, man, that's super noisy. I got a plugin for that. I was like, geez, really? You have a plugin for that? What do you? And then he showed it to me. And yep, it's as simple as just dragging everything to the bottom and then using this as like your threshold. And it's simple. I don't know how it works. I don't know where the noise goes. It's just not there anymore. It's fantastic. All right, moving along to the next. We're gonna go to the Mesa Boogie. It's a little Chimera. I think that's a Chimera riff. It sounds really good too, guys. So this has been Rock Rack. You guys can probably get this the next time Plugin Alliance has a sale. Get on their mailing list because you'll get a bunch of free stuff for doing that. And then you're going to get, they'll give you like vouchers and coupons and free shit all the time. It's amazing. And you can get these really nice bundles and stuff. So check it out. Honestly, go over to Plugin Alliance. I'm not a shill. I could care less. Honestly, they have a lot of money. They don't need my sales or my endorsement at all. They've been around for a really long time, and they have a lot of people that really enjoy their plugins. Not just amp sims either. They've got bass amp sims. They've got all kinds of creative, all kinds of console gear, everything you can imagine from every era that you can imagine, made by some of the best coders on the planet. So guys, check out Plugin Alliance. There's a lot of stuff there. Check out the guitar and bass section first. They've got a lot of stuff that is incredible, honestly. Freyskin, how are you, buddy? Sorry I haven't got you that DI yet. I'm going to get to that. It's first thing on my list right here. First thing on my list that I need to do this weekend. So yeah, man, Dune 2 was good. I'm glad you brought that up. We watched it and I was thoroughly that one, it beat the shit out of the first one. Beat the living shit out of the first one. The first one was decent and they set up the story good and everything, but she's reading the books and I'm not. There's no universe I'm going to read those books. So I'll let her read them for me and tell me about the worm poop and all that stuff, And yeah, so I watched the second movie and it was like almost a 3 hour movie. It was like 2 hours and 40 minutes. And when it ended, I was like, come on, I want more. Like, give me another 2 hours of that shit. Fuck yeah. Solid. Very, very solid. We're going to say goodbye to Rock Rack. Get on the mailing list. Get this the next time it goes on sale, which for like $10. Seriously, there's a free version of it, but it's not it's whatever. Nah, it's not that great. It's okay. It'll do you. But I'm telling you right now, get this V3, get Rock Rack V3. It'll be on sale for like $10. Lots of good cleans in here as well. Some solid crunch tones. If you even just go, I'm not necessarily here for crunch tones right now, but that's the Marshall, the fucking Marshall. And the Marshall sound, I used this for leads for a pretty long time. I used a blend of like this and the Lepu Hybrid. A little bit of a clip there. Wee! What was that all about? Why did that tear? What was that all about? What is that? I'm confused. I must have hit something there. Either way, let's get rid of that. We're gonna head over here to Diesel Herbert. Okay, that's bugging me. What did I do? What did I accidentally hit? That is gonna bug me. Oh gosh. Why can I hear that? Okay, I'm super confused right now. And I'm in one of those, I'm not going to do the deer in the headlights thing. Not going to do the deer in the headlights. But what did I do? No. What did I do? I'm very confused as to what I did and why I can't hear. Very interesting. I am stumped. Why can I all of a sudden hear the DI? Gosh, that is frustrating. I'm not going to need to restart here. We're going to figure this out. Gosh. Okay, I am mystified. Can anybody tell me why I would be hearing the DI? This is puzzling. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, too. Hold on a second. I figured it out. You know exactly what I did. Yes! Yes! It wasn't in Reaper. It was on my interface. I did it one other time, and I just remembered how I fixed it. There's a little button for monitor so you can hear the DI, and it's right next to one of the faders, one of the pots, and occasionally, because of the angle that I'm at, occasionally my thumb will just brush against it, but this time it brushed it hard enough to hit the button. Yeah! Hell yeah! We're gonna have a sip of pop for that one. Fuck yeah! All right, we're cooking with fire again, folks. All right, let's go to the heaviest channel of this bad motherfucker right here, and this is the Diesel Herbert. I like this amp very much. I like it very, very much, and it's really good at what it does. It does the Diesel Herbert thing really well. We're gonna get everything just kind of tuned up here, and okay, so nice. Oops. I'm gonna bring that back. Bring my channel volume all the way up, almost all the way up. Okay. Sounds pretty good. Pretty darn good, it sounds. Gonna goose the input a bit. Beefy. Beefy. Let's get some top end on that. Now it has this wonderful mid cut. For those of you that actually still like to scoop things, you can do her really nicely right here with this mid cut. Now check it out. Yeah! That's definitely Metallicaville right there. And then we're going to give it some gain. Yeah, like we weren't already super gained up as it is. No, we're not gained up enough. And you're thinking, well, why aren't you scooping the mids out of here if you really want to scoop? Well, actually, I actually like to turn up when there's like a mid cut feature. I like to turn up the mid, yeah, we'll call it the mid EQ, the mid control a bit, because I don't know, I just find it does something neat when you dial the mids up and then you hit some sort of a mid cut feature. It just does something interesting. Man, that sounds super good. Damn it. Man, that sounds fucking great. I drooled a bit there. I love doing that. That's a really good way to test out an amp sim as well. When you really want to get those, see if like the qualities are there, just give it a good strum and let it hang all the way out. See what it does. See those little, you can feel things kind of like doing like the real amp thing, the analog amp, the tube thing. We'll call it for those of us that are just like, I don't know we'll call it the tube feel. I don't know. Tube behavior? I don't know. What would you say, Eddie? Yeah. Man, it sounds just beautiful. I really like this plugin as well, but not as much as I like the VH4. The VH4 won my plugin of the year. I don't know, best plugin of the year. I can't remember what year it was, but Honest Amp Sim Reviews, as far as I went, this was my number one. This, both the Herbert and the VH4 were my plugins of the year. I could not care less that they don't have a boost section or any of the bells and whistles or transpose or blah, 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 any of that. What I want is I want it to be an amp. I want it to be really good at being the amp that it's trying to be. I don't give a fuck about those bells and whistles. We can create the signal chain that we need to create inside our DAW. What we should be caring about here is, does the amp pull off sounding like what it's telling us? Is this, especially because it's licensed, does this actually do the job and sound like a Diesel Herbert? Fuck yeah, it does. And I've yet to hear anybody tell me that it didn't. I've yet to read a bad review on either of the Diesel, licensed Diesel stuff, plugins, or any of the licensed angles for that matter. Go out there, do your due diligence, and you're not going to find maybe won't find demos from your favorite YouTubers, but guess what? Some companies don't want to pay your favorite YouTubers $1,000 for, 4 or 5 hours work, or 5 days work, depending on how much they do. But nonetheless, some companies don't like spending money on demos. They don't want to pay for demos. They want to do their demos the way they want to do them. They don't want to do them. Hang on, I'm just making sure that this level is good too. Check. Oh, Jesus, that scared the living poop out of me. Oh, gosh. I got this real weird sound that just came through and just shocked the crap out of me. Anyways. Some developers really don't want to pay for paid demos. They just don't want to do it. I can name them offhand, but one of those companies, really, Brainworx Plugin Alliance, they get so many great in-house demos and stuff that they pay for. They have people that work in-house and do that sort of thing for them. So they're not looking to go out and pay, the most popular YouTubers for theirs as well. Sometimes you'll see it. Most of the time, though, you won't. With some companies that love to do it, they love to pay the top YouTubers top dollar. And those guys make good money showcasing that stuff. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying some companies don't want to do that. Yeah, the angles are very much incredible. They sound great. But this Diesel sounds just awesome. Whoa. Yeah, geez, that sounds awesome. Yeah, buddy. All right, so we've got a few more in the list. It's not going to be an incredibly long show today. But we're still giving her. We're still giving her. The VH4, guys, is truthfully one of the most versatile amps ever. And yeah, there are more than a few plugins based on this amp out there right now, or inclusions into plugins, etc. There are a lot of people that went after the VH4 to try and get that sound. And a lot of people modeled it. A lot of people put it into their plugins. And this one is... most of those, I would argue that at least a few of those, if you guys go look, only model channels 3 and 4, which are traditionally the most popular channels for, you know, the heavier uses. The clean channel is decent. It's not bad. I wouldn't say it's the best or greatest clean tone out there, but that channel 2 is really nice. We're going to be going after the bye-bye Diesel Herbert, by the way. Hello, Diesel VH4. We're going to go in, bypass once again the RC info, go to the top, hit the back button, and boom, we're done. All right, so we're going to start on channel 3. We're going to make sure that we set everything up. Okay, that power amp volume should always be, for at least for my personal taste, you know, in and around between, I don't know, 3 and 4, 4.5 tops. I don't like to push it further than that. Your gain staging, folks, if you don't know what gain staging is, you should look it up because it's probably going to help you out. Now, my channel volume is going to go up. My gain's going to go up. I know that's this. I'm setting up both channels at the same time. I like to run things. Basically, this is how I like to run things on this amp, on both channels. And then I start from around here. Wow, that was a loud motorcycle. All right, let's see what we got here to start out. And this is the Adam Jones channel. Adam Jones from Tool absolutely loves the third channel of this amp is part of his main sound. He uses this, and from what I understand, an old Plexi that are kind of running together. Don't exactly know what his signal chain's like, but this is one of the amps that he likes to use. Yeah, Freeskin, there's actually an old plugin series called the Thermionic Collection, which you may or may not have heard of, that actually modeled both. And we tried both of them out in a stream not that long ago. Check it out if you can go back and check it out. We used the silver face and the blue face versions of the Diesel VH4. We checked them both out, and there were subtle differences for sure. I think the blue one looks sick though, doesn't it? That one, it looks awesome. A super bass, okay. And we're not even on the heavy channel just yet. Yowza. Yeah. So this is the third channel of the VH4 plugin, licensed VH4 plugin from Brainworx, and I think this is pretty heavy, and I think this is still legit. This is not an obsolete plugin. It's so fucking stupid that we're even having this debate. I can't even believe that I participated. It was just so stupid that I just, yeah. The OP later, there was just so much arguing, and the OP later deleted the post, as it wasn't even his. It was just this random dude asking questions, and then all of these sudden these assholes are arguing and ruining his time, and I apologize for that. But I think he got at least some of the information he was looking for. Yeah, that's just awesome. It sounds fucking unbelievable. Let's try that one more. Let's try that. Let's let it run out here. Oh, that's awesome. Let's go to channel 4. This is supposed to be this is the heavier channel. Let's do that. It's so fucking heavy. It's so good still. I don't care how many plugins come out. I'm using not a lot in this chain either. This is just our free, the Sword plugin, the VH4. And in this, I'm using the 412 EGA 414 Hype Real Mix from Dr. Bonkers Sound Labs. Go over there and give Dr. Bonkers a look, especially the EGA 412 pack. Man, he's got some cool stuff. No fake boxes here, folks. No, none of those fake software boxes that, I mean, who's purchased software in a box? When was the last time anybody purchased software in a box? Enough with the fake boxes. Nothing you're getting is coming in a box. Stop with the boxes. The little fake box with the logo and the speaker on it. Enough of those. Enough. This guy shows you the real cabinet that he shot, and it might even still have some dust and war wounds and ripped Tolex. It doesn't matter. This dude really knows what he's doing, and he knows an amazing cabinet. When he hears it, doesn't matter what it looks like. This dude is incredible. Thanks so much to Mike at Dr. Bonkers for his support over the years. And by support, I don't mean any of this is paid for. He's just really cool about just handing over his stuff to try out. And man, I appreciate him a lot. He's become a good friend. But that being said, not biased. I have a number of Impulse Response developers out there that I support, and he just happens to be one of them. So, and I this is just the one file that I fell in love with, and I use it for just so many things. So I got to give him a shout out once in a blue moon on that one. Nice. Man, oh my God. This plugin, I mean, if you don't have this in your arsenal already, go out and fucking get it. And just, man, I don't even, I'm not even going to say that I've tried all of the IRs that come with it. I know that most of them sound pretty good though, so I'm not discounting those by not using them. It just honestly, rather than me searching through all those files to find something I like a lot, why not just use one file I really like and then just showcase what the amps are giving you. All of these plugins have perfectly capable IR sections. It's just really, really, really cumbersome. And that's not a word I guess I use too often, but it's exactly what it means. It really describes that whole process. Let's try this one. How long does it take me to get from the top to the bottom, folks? Let's find out. Let's see. Here we go. Ready and go. I mean, it's a long time. You might be thinking, well, dude, it literally only took you like 3-4 seconds. 3 or 4 seconds to get to the bottom of a list? Drop down menu? Oh my gosh. So yeah, I could see why someone would drop into this, like a brand new user or someone that's just picked up AMP Sims in the last maybe 2-3 years, maybe 4 or 5 tops, and might be really, really ultra used to that sweet style. Everything is laid out for you perfectly. Here you are, sir. I mean, yeah, those are easy, but I don't understand what the difference is between clicking between panels or clicking between plugins. I mean, if I'm clicking back and forth to go to a pedal or to go to an IR section or whatever, I don't understand what's the difference between that and building a signal chain in your DAW that you just have to click from plugin to plugin. I don't know what the difference is. It's not. So if you're out there and you're really, really hardwired into those, those sweet style plugins, you're missing out on some really cool shit out there. And I would strongly advise that you learn how to use a DAW, learn how to build a signal chain. It's not too difficult. If you know how to build one left to right in analog terms, you know how to build one from top to bottom in your DAW. It's not that complex. I know you can do it. I'm here for you. We are here for you. Come through a stream at some point and we'll walk you through it if you need to. No problem. If you're a beginner, or if you're an intermediate user and you're watching our streams and you're like, I don't want to jump in. This sounds a little advanced for me. Trust me, we can slow things down. We can cater things a little bit more to, why you got to keep popping up on me, huh? Come on. Hey, there it is. Essentially, if you're brand new and you're out there, it is like there's a learning curve, and a learning curve that has had many plugin users say, fuck this. I've been in those conversations with analog users and getting them going with plugins. Gosh, I've had those conversations with some pretty big names too. Like, you'd be surprised how many people over the years that I've helped walk from analog into plugins. And at this point, it's all hardwired in. It's like almost a speech. And I could just go off. It's automatic. Same as Bo, same as Eddie. There's a lot of us here that have helped a lot of people go from, not even owning a computer to playing on plugins in a matter of a couple days, depending on how much time you have. It's really not that hard a learning curve. So if you're out there and you're watching this and you haven't jumped in yet and you're thinking about it and they interest you and you're thinking, gosh, there's a lot of really interesting plugins out there these days. Yeah, you know what? I suggest jumping in. Get yourself, it's not hard to find, ideal specs for, computers running that kind of stuff but we can give you those links. If you drop into a stream, feel free to say so in the comments. We'll help you out. Cardboard box contents your download code. Can you imagine they were shipping out download codes? I can still remember. Hold on. I can still remember the multi-disc installation for Superior Drummer. We all remember that. Superior Drummer 2. We all remember the discs from Superior Drummer 2. And gosh, those things were put into Fort fucking Knox in my house because I had, every time I would lend them to anybody, it would come back like, is there a scratch? Is there a scratch on it? So dumb. Anyhow, I am going to take a quick 3-minute break, replenish, and I will be back with you guys. Hopefully you guys are in for it for another little bit. I'd be in for it. I'm in for it for sure. We've got a couple of more cool plugins coming up, and we're going to be talking a little bit more about, NAMM Universal as well. We'll talk about a few different things that we've got coming up. and make some hints towards some stuff that's coming out soon. So, all right, if you guys, thanks so much for being with me. I appreciate you guys. I will be back in about 3 minutes. Yes. Yes. That's what I've been needing. I just needed to get up for a second. True story. At the heat and the height of the best I ever got at drums, the best I ever got on an E-kit. I had an E-kit a little bit after having an acoustic kit, and I played a lot. The best I ever got was I was able to play this song, I would say 80% accurately, 85% accurately. And it was, it's tough. There's a couple fills I can't do. Right here. Where is it? Where's the slow part at? Here it comes. There's one fill right here I can't do. It's coming. The next fill here. I cannot do the next fill. Nope. I would just bullshit it. There was a couple fills that I would just kind of bullshit my way through. But that was as good as I ever got at drums. And I gave up because I had the jam space issues. I have nowhere to put drums. I have nowhere to put drums. And every time, like, I was renting some space from a friend of mine who had a jam space, I was like, hey man, if I pay you this much money, can I just put my E-kit in like the corner of this gigantic fucking room that had like 4 other drum kits at this place? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. And then every time I would go there to play it, people had fucked with it. And it's just like, God damn it. It's like, are there not enough drum kits in this fucking room that you got to fuck with my shit? Like, it just baffles me sometimes. In the community jam spaces, they used to be really easy and really fun to run. And if there's anybody in the chat right now that's ever been part of, or the person that organized a community jam space, man, it is a pain in the fucking ass, and people lie and people steal, and gosh, it is just a weird fucking scene, man. Gosh, if there was one amp out there that I would love to own in person that I've never owned before, it's the VH4. If I ever found like that's like what is one going for? What am I be looking at? It's just for starters. I mean, it would be easy enough to go and buy an EVH 5153. Those are easy enough those are not that expensive right now. Like, I mean, depending on what you find expensive. I mean, as far as like a really good fucking amp goes, durable, not made like shit. The 5153s, all the 5150s have always been classically, they've always been affordable, reasonably, and durable. And so I would, versus the diesels, where I feel like the VH4 has always been like $5,000 or something like that. Like, there's just no universe where I could ever afford that. I just, not only could I not, but I would I wouldn't. You know what I mean? Even if I was put in a situation where I could afford it, I just don't think I could. You know what I mean? What is the going rate on a diesel VH4 used right now, or new? Let's try it with a different pedal. Try it with the Forte boost. I know there's another version. Gosh, this is based off the Fortin 33. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. This thing sounds great as well. If you've never tried, it's awesome. I'm going to go back to the Sword though, because also another shameless plug. This is going to be rebranded shortly. This is from my former offering, Honest AMP SIM Reviews. It's done by Fuse Audio Labs. If you guys are looking for a really cool pedal, this is the Dozer Drive. Yeah, this is just another shameless plug, but this thing is awesome. It's fuzz on the left, tube screamer on the right, and your ability to use them in parallel or rearrange the order so that it's fuzz first, tube screamer first, fuzz second, and thus, sorry. It also has some unique mods, and we're hoping to add when we rebrand it, hoping to add something fun. Maybe a bass mode. We'll see. That, however, we're not using today because I don't require the fuzz. Also not getting bothered with the rocker gain today, although it is quite heavy. We've used it a bunch for Doom. It also does all types of things. You guys, if you know the rocker verb, you know that it's not a one-trick pony of any kind. The thing is very versatile. So 3,000 euros new. That's what? Is that like $5,000? 3,000 euros? Like $5,000? What would that be in like in US dollars even? Canadian dollars, that'd be like a fucking billion. The price, if I looked it up right now, the price might just like, if I like went to calculate it into Canadian dollars, the calculator would just be like too much. It's not even gonna tell me. Just too much. You cannot afford this. Why does my calculator have an Italian accent? I'm not sure. Fuck, I'm digging this. Yeah, beefy. $4,500 US, which is roughly about $6,000 Canadian. The idea, and then there's shipping and brokerage fees and everything else. By the time that amp is sitting on a desk in my home, it is going to be $7,000. The idea of spending $7,000 on an amp, is it driving me to work? Can I drive it to work? Does it somehow fuel my vehicle? There's no universe. There's just no universe. $7,000 for an amp. Oh my gosh. And then you've like, oh, it just had to put that into perspective of like, wow, my want for this amp just went completely out the window. Like, no. I really just want to have another shot at trying one. The one time I had an opportunity to try one, it was a band and I was on a stage, but there was nobody there. It was during after their sound check, and I was like, I'm drooling over the amp. The guitar player's like, hey man, you want to try it? I'm like, fucking yeah, I want to try it. And I went in hard on it he kept on turning it up and turning it up and turning it up. I'm like, yeah, woo! Very excited that I got the chance to do that. It was just a Canadian band that no longer exists. And I'm being honest with you, I don't even remember their name. They were touring with a band called Neuraxis. Neuraxis is an incredible grindy death metal band from Quebec. And they were touring with them. And gosh, if I remember the band's name, oh gosh. Anyways, not important right now, but it was a really cool experience. I highly advise that if you have a chance to hang out at sound checks of like mid-level bands, not anybody that's, but like mid-level bands. Sometimes if you're involved in like the load-in crew and you're just really drooling over an amp, there's maybe if you know the promoter and I was the promoter at the time, so it wasn't really super hard for me to like try gear. Once upon a time, I tried John Longstreth from Origin and Skinless fame. I tried his kit. He's like, you want to sit down on my kit? I was fuck, and he gave me a bunch of drum skins. These are the opportunities that I got to have as a promoter, even though I got to make no money. I often had to pay money. Does it speak? Can it do my taxes for the rest of my life? Even still, $7,000 is too much. Plus the missus does taxes, so. I mean, if I was a millionaire, you're fucking right, I would have a brand new diesel VH4 and like the blue face. And if I was like, I had all kinds of money, you guys better believe I'd have a whole room in my house dedicated to trying amplifiers that I really want to try. That just for like education and experience sake for this page, I'd go out there and buy all these new top amps that I'm seeing. I'd buy a Purple Nightmare and the Darkest Nightmare, and I'd buy all this shit just so I could come back and be like, yeah, the sim is legit. Man, I'm glad I've had so many opportunities to try so much gear. And that was the other thing I was going to say about communal jam spaces is like, if you are in a jam space with enough gearheads, you'll constantly be having amps that are rolling through the jam space, and you'll always get to try theirs if they can try yours, and your pedals if you can try their pedals, and suddenly you're trading stuff and you're hammered, and then the next day you're like, what did I trade? And then you're both like, nah, I can't be. Yeah, you get it. Diesel VH34 EL34. Wonderful. I didn't know that existed, but now that I do, I want to hear it. I really want to know what, because these are traditionally what? Eddie, if I'm not mistaken, the diesel stuff is KT77 or KT88s. Something like that. In any event, so it'd be really interesting. How would I do that? I guess one could do that in, the Will Putney tonality. Can you do that in the Will Putney? Hold on. I almost spilled my pop. That would have been terrible. Can you do that in the Will Putney tonality? You can, yeah. Oh, here we go. Fucking party time. Let's I want to know. I wanted to know that it existed, and pop, I know it. I know now. The motherfucker exists. Let's turn this off. Let's that can stay on. Oh, let's go. Let's go. All right. Now I needed to know it existed. And Samuel, how's it going, dude? Sam, hey, did you run away on the cat needs to play with you apparently. Sam's very excited, and he's also a little bit sad at the same time that his mom just went for a walk. He's sad. This is what he does. All right, let's see what we got here, guys. Not too bad. Sam! He's either excited or a bit sad, and he's letting us all know. I'm not yelling at him. He can be as happy or sad as he wants to be. All right, let's back this up. This is also another VH4 that exists, made by STL Tones and STL Tonality, Will Putney. And anything Will Putney puts his name on, guys, just buy it because the dude makes shit sound really good. I'm not kidding you. His tone hub pack, gosh. KT88s and 77s are some of, oh man, they're just amazing tubes. But man, EL34. Fucking right. That sounds great too. If you haven't tried this one out, you should go get it. This was another one that I think could use a bit of, if they were to give this like a UI, where like a vector UI, it's big enough, but if I know that, I mean, it's new enough that if they were to give it like a vector UI or even something just like that, you can make it just a pinch bigger, would be wonderful. Man, Sam's on fire back here. Let's go to channel 3. These are some interesting settings that they have in default. I don't know if I like them. Yeah, I like that though. Holy cow. Sam is literally on fire back here. Let's add a screamer. Oh, the screamer's on already. I kind of figured it was, but what are you gonna do? Yeah. Hopefully you guys are digging this because I'm having a pretty fucking good time with it. And this is AMP 4 in this suite. This is obviously not Brainworx, but we got into it because we wanted I wanted to see what it was like. And it's interesting we can do that. We have that opportunity to be able to do that. It would be nice if someone did a plugin based on that. There's also another way that you could potentially fake it. I got to think what amps. If you wanted, okay, here, we're going to get into how you could do it with the VH4, from Brainworx. You would go in here. You go in here and you would turn bypass power amp. And then you would take your your TPA1 from Ignite amps way back. Still an incredible power amp plugin. I'm gonna just tweak that a little bit. Okay, and go to the back, and I'm gonna select EL34 tubes, and we're gonna see what else we can do here. We're gonna make sure that we're not, so that power amp is no longer there. Okay, so that is quite quiet. Gotta figure out what's going on here. Okay, so that's not there. Okay, so that so the power soak still works. Well, whatever. Okay, let's turn this up a little bit in the front, and we're gonna have to bring this up here. This works, but I'm not getting. I guess I could turn this up, but that's not really running it the way I would normally run it. And it's, yeah, it's not. Let's bring this up. That sounds pretty good. You know, like it sounds, I can't get the right level out of it because I haven't really experimented a lot with that setup. But that's how I would do it if I wanted to get that vibe with the AL34s and this particular amp sim, which you can turn off the power amp. You can also turn off, you can bypass both the preamp or power amp. I don't know why you would bypass both necessarily, but I mean, you could if you'd like to use it just for the IRs. I don't know why you would do that. Either way, you could do that if you would like to use these IRs with a different head. You could do that if you'd like with a different plugin altogether. I guess I've never heard of anybody doing that, but it's interesting that we just came up with that. That is an option if you really like these cabinets. You could turn off both and just run something out in front of it. We're not going to try that because I just don't care, but just being honest with you. Okay, now let's go back to this. I want to make sure that my channel volume is not too insane. Okay, and my pedal is now off. Okay, so now we're going to get past the diesel VH4 and we are going to get into some other stuff. I kind of want to keep jamming on that and that tonality, to be honest, but we're not. That's not what we're here for. So we're going to nuke that. It's interesting that we have those options though. Okay. So we're going to try the Pete Thorn 100 and I'll show you guys. Again, this is not an amp I'm super familiar with, so it's going to take us a second to get where we need to go. I don't know where I am. I only used this on like two demo songs I did, just for fun, and it sounded great. I just, for whatever reason, just haven't used it quite as often. All right, so we're gonna need to nuke the IR, although this one has the handy RC off button, and actually the IRs in this one sound pretty good, although again, we can turn it on and we see this just astonishing window. Let's see how long this window is. Oh God. Oh, so many. It's such a healthy offering of IRs. I appreciate it, but man, that is just a lot to deal with. I think we can all agree at that point, but I'm just really going in for the fucking kill on this one. I will not let it go. Yeah, Pete Thorne, the YouTuber. Canadian. He's also a session guitar player of many years. So yeah, I mean, I think he was definitely a session guitar player prior to being a YouTuber. The dude is incredibly nice though. From what I've been told, I have friends that I actually have a friend that hangs out with Pete Thorne, and not that it's an option for me. I just have a friend who's a sound tech who hangs out just literally, yeah, at Pete Thorne's house fixing a guitar. Like, oh, what? You're where? Okay, cool. Say hi, Pete Thorne. I've talked to him a couple times through email regarding testing something for a certain developer that I was working artist relations for, but beyond those strictly business conversations, I really don't know the man. But I do know that he has an ear for tone, in that he can get a good tone out of fucking anything. Literally, the guy can put anything in front of that guy. And so what I love about him is that even if it's not even that good, the dude still manages to get like really good tones. And something I pride myself on is that being able to get a good tone out of anything. I can work with almost anything and get a good tone for whatever it's aiming for. I'm not gonna, pull the best possible tone out of that piece of gear is what I'm trying to say here. Now, let's go. Where the fuck are we going? All right, we're using, okay, let's go with this. No, let's go with this channel here. And I think this is shared EQ. Let's get started. Okay, I forgot we turned that off. Okay, not too bad so far. Use a little bit more of that power soak. And this thing's jamming. Very cool. I enjoy this plugin. I hope you guys do as well. Super good plugin. It's a fun amp. I honestly haven't seen any demos on the plugin, but when I was first got the plugin, I'm always very curious. If I don't know the amp, I go and listen to as many clips as I can from your completely studio made clips to your average dude at home with a cell phone, because all those clips are gonna help me compile, we'll call it audio data here, to compile this data, and it all kind of puts together like this tone profile, that the things I can at least expect from the amp. I try to keep an eye on settings, what they're using, and then I go from there and then use the plugin in some of the same ways. And if you listen to enough clips using that amp or that specific piece of gear, and then you use a plugin, you really should be able to go, kind of make that decision. But and with me, it didn't really take that much. It didn't take that much for this one. This one has, it's hard to explain. You'd really have to try it out. It has definite similarities to a 5150 to my ears, but you guys would have to try it out. And I think you can try out all their plugins for free, if I'm not mistaken. I also have seen this one as cheap as $29.99. It's amazing how much they blow things out for when they do. They decided to, it'll just come out of nowhere, like, all guitar gear 75% off for the next 6 days. And you're like, holy shit, 6 days. Like, I got to figure out what I want. And like, okay. And then you'll buy multiples, I promise. And I got an eyelash and it's bugging me. All right. Rock and roll. All right. I have had an injury. But I have been befallen by an old guy injury. I play a lot of disc golf, and it's generally very easy on your body if you're doing it right. But if you're trying to throw far, and I tend to try to throw far, sometimes you'll get little strains and sprains. And I've got this thing right in here. It runs right through here. I don't know what it is, but it runs right through here. And it's strained. So luckily, a couple years ago, I burned out my right arm, and my rotator cuff was quite fucked. And while that was healing, I taught myself how to play left-handed, so I can do that at a reasonable degree. And it looks like I'm going to be doing it again. So I was kind of bummed out, a little bit depressed for a couple days. So again, guys, sorry I've been kind of in and out and haven't been as consistent with the streaming. I do like being on here. It's just like lately, as we can all appreciate, sometimes work gets really fucking tough. And when it gets tough, sometimes when we get home from work, the last thing we want to go and do is just fire something up and try to be personable. So guys, like, my apologies. I definitely don't want to come on here in a mood where you guys are gonna be like, fuck, this dude is bumming me out. Why the fuck am we watching this guy? He's bumming me out. I don't want to come on here and do that. So gosh, gotta be positive, gotta, you know, keep the ideas flowing. So thanks so much for sticking with me and being around. Nice. In a Nashville rash. Help me, Merle, I'm gonna break out in a Nashville rash. Fuck, I love country music. Old country, there's nothing beats old country. Get away from me. Get away from me with that fucking new shit, though. Gosh, it's rap. There's rap in country now. Gosh. Jesus. Johnny Cash. It's a good thing Johnny Cash is dead, because he would have died just as soon as he heard rap in country. Oh my goodness gracious. Oof. That stuff just, I'm not going to make a statement on it because Lord knows, I mean, there are some of the best musicians on this earth right now. Are playing country music. Yeah. The session jobs and the session money out there right now for country guys is insane. So some of the best fucking session guitar players, session drummers, session bass players, session mandolin players, all of the best players are in Nashville right now playing with some of the best in the world, in the studio all the time playing with the best in the world. And some of the most reliable musicians as well are there. And it's like, why are y'all using all that talent to play garbage? It's just so bad. But anyways, if you really listen behind the trashy, auto-tune, shitty vocals, you can actually hear some really good guitar tones as well. And every once in a while, I had a colleague that used to listen to this country radio station all the time, and I'd be just like, fuck, 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 fuck. And then every once in a while, you hear that nice Brad Paisley tone. And I'm like, oh, that's lovely then, isn't it? You know, like that's the only time you're going to hear it. So at least I'm trying to find some good in it, but generally it's just worst. Old country, however, goodness gracious, I got all kinds of time for old country. We could talk about that all day. And if I thought that anybody would watch it, gosh, I would love to do a stream on just country guitar. I will at some point, but gosh, my chops are so minimal at this point that I really need to upkeep my chicken picking. And as always, a challenge for you out there. Yes, you, guitar player that feels accomplished, experienced, and very talented. Have you ever tried chicken picking? If you haven't, gosh, I'm going to tell you guys, chicken picking, it will ruin your life, because as soon as you start listening to it, you really want to get good at it, because you hear how fucking cool it sounds when you get really good at it. And gosh, you know what I'm going to do? Hang on. I'm going to bring up a clip. We never do this here, but we're going to bring up a clip. Okay, how do I do that? I'm going to bring up a clip for you guys. And we've watched this before on another stream. I want to show you guys something. We go on these offshoots all the time. Okay. Yes, here it is. Okay, I'm going to make sure that the volume is not going to crush your souls. Because the last time we did this, the volume almost crushed everyone's soul. Okay, so we're going to watch a clip. Oh, gosh, I don't know how to do this. Guys, brace yourselves, okay? Brace yourselves, please. Brace yourselves. This could be loud. I'm gonna try to nip it in the bud as quick as I can here. And go. Here it is. Oh, we got it. Okay, here we go. I want to show you guys this clip just because, geez, listen to this and look at this. How cool would it be this good? How, like... Oh gosh, what I wouldn't give to sound that good. What were you saying about country guitar players not being able to shred, folks? I love watching this clip. Oh gosh. So when I think country guitar tone, guys, wouldn't it be great to have this gear? Jesus. Imagine being able to have that tone, guys. What? Okay. All right, so we'll get rid of that now. Sorry, guys. We had to do it, though. I had to do it. Gosh. And like, you have to bring up Brad Paisley to people because that's the best guitar, that's the best country guitar tone you'll ever hear in your life. And there is no better. Man, I mean, Brent Mason has incredible tone. Johnny Highland has incredible tone. But Brad Paisley's tone, when I hear it, it just makes my heart, like, oh, it melts me. That is the ultimate twang. And whether he's clean or he's, you know, the guy literally learned on nothing but country and Van Halen. That's how he learned how to play guitar, was nothing but country, Van Halen. And the only reason he learned Van Halen was so he could get chicks, because apparently he grew up playing at county fairs, and he was playing literally shreddies, like chicken picking shreddies. He grew up like one of those, like, come see this 13-year-old kid that was shredding on the stage at 5 o'clock. And then he's got this like completely full adult band, and he's like shredding when he's like 13. Okay, he's that guy. But then he's like, that wasn't getting me any ladies. Nobody cared that I could play. Nobody cared that I could play these country songs. But nobody cared. Man, he was from the wrong era, I guess. And then he talked about learning Van Halen, and it helped him meet girls. So, and there you have it. Not a bad gig though, I guess. That's how he learned how to play guitar. And the dude is just such a shredder. He has a full guitar shred album, actually. It's all just, I don't recall the name of it off the top of my head, but he's got one album that's all country guitar shred. And a song called Throttle Neck, which you guys all should hear for sure. Throttle Neck is the song that I always point people to immediately if they don't think that country guys can shred. Throttle Neck is one of the first songs I'm like, this, you listen to that right now and then come back to me. And they're always like, okay, never mind. Here's the part one, and my apology. You know, going back to what we're doing before we went on a country guitar tangent, probably lost anybody's interest that was watching. I've been using my Iceman all night. If you're curious what pickups, I always like to tell people what pickups are in a guitar that I'm using, just in case you haven't seen my videos or these videos before. This is a Bill Lawrence L500XL, Bill Lawrence USA more specifically, not the original that are worth like $1,000 at this point, or something like ridiculous like that. I went and looked them up the other day. There's one for like $600. It's ridiculous. This is not worth that. you'll maybe pay like $100 or so dollars for one of these, and it is a superb pickup for anything metal, rock, even clean tones, and like southern rock, that type of stuff. It's been used for everything over the years, and I love this pickup very, very much. I've got it in 2 guitars, and I'm very happy with it in both. Now, moving along. The other pickup is a Gibson Classic 57, which we're not even going to be touching on tonight. This guitar is essentially just, I like it for chugs. It also does doom, and it's just a super versatile guitar. It's actually the Paul Stanley model made in China. And typically, if you're not aware how signature model guitar works, we're going on another tangent here. Signature model guitars, if you want something that's more stripped down, typically those are made, even for larger artists, typically just so that everybody can make some money off the instrument. If it's more stripped down, it's like usually Korea, Indonesia, something along those lines. Mexico as well, if you're Fender and such. And then with other people like Paul Stanley, when you want like mirrored tails and pick guards, and you want binding on the entire guitar and everything, and you want all this thing, they're going to want to make that in China. But this guitar, for being made in China, the fretwork is immaculate. You really never know what you're going to get from China. Now, it's not being racist out there, folks. It's just the fact of the matter. Things made in China are often got a lot of cut corners. It just is what it is. Yeah. So this thing is, this is actually a fucking beef house of a guitar. And I took every mention of Paul Stanley off the guitar that I could, except for the fret marker that actually says his name, because he's like, I know people are going to get rid of. Obviously, Paul Stanley doesn't have that accent. I was like, well, I don't know how he talks, but he's like, I know people are going to get rid of that mirrored shit on my guitar, and they're probably going to try to get rid of all that. So I'm going to put my name in a fret just to make sure everybody still knows that's my signature model. If only there was a way to get rid of that. I love Kiss, always have, always will, but Paul Stanley has always been my least favorite member of Kiss. It is what it is. Maybe it's yours as well. Tell me in the comments, who's your least favorite member of Kiss? Let's see if this is going to do the scoop. I'm having to create a little bit of... There's a boost? Oh, wow, okay. I forgot. Let's try the boost. Wow, this thing's a monster. This is actually quite a beastly amp. Underrated amp sim for sure. This thing, okay, like hidden gem. This is a hidden gem. It sounds great. It's got tons of jam in this, like tons and tons of balls. Tons of balls in this. Lots of different features. From what I remember, the crunch and the clean channels are all super good. I'd be interested to like look this up. Eddie, look this amp up and tell me what from what you can see about it, what you know about it. What is it? Is it actually similar? I mean, if Bo's here. What's going on, Caleb? How are you, buddy? Man, good to see you. I'm glad you showed up. I didn't put this one on Facebook. I just decided to jump on in. Because usually, guys, and to explain it even more, after work, usually my window between the time that I get home and the time that I get unmotivated to do anything but lay on that couch, usually that amount of time is like an hour. There's like an hour when I get home where I'm just like still a little bit, like I'm full of a little bit of energy. Sometimes I got stressed. Like work has been really fucking hard. the last little while. So, and I'm also really, it's a lot of my senses. I'm a kind of a sensory type person. Loud work environments drain me very quickly. And not just like loud as in like loud noise, but lots of voices. And I'm constantly bombarded by lots and lots and lots and lots of voices from at all times. So for me, it's like that sensory, but like that cool down period after work needs to be there. Like it needs to be, man, it really wants me to listen to this fucking song today. And this one, what are we doing here? There we go. All right. And typically I just need to have that cool down time. And then, but recently that cool down time has been like 20 minutes. There's like 20 minutes between the time I get home and the time that I am playing Fallout 4 with no aspirations of doing anything but that till I go to sleep. And that's just been the way it is. Like sometimes we all handle work stress and we all handle life stress a bit differently. And normally my way of doing that is to come on here and hit you guys with, you know, and hang out and just whatever, you know, and talk tech and talk plugins. But lately it's been more so just like get home and be like, shit, like I don't want to trying to get my mood up, and then my mood just wouldn't come up. So I'm just like, I'm not going to go on there and do that thing. So just to explain, I really do feel bad that like I haven't been as available, but summer's coming for me. I am off of the work from for July and August. So guys, be ready for a lot of content, be ready for a lot of streams, and don't feel obligated to be here for all of them, because there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. The AMP SIM show is something we're just trying out. It's an easy way to lead people into what we're doing, and hopefully that is what it is. Saw a scumbag walking across the street, and hands up for folks that live in a real questionable area. Cheers. That'd be me right now. What is that again? That's death, I think. PT100, sir. The PT100 Ace. The Python Signature Series. Oh, that's terrible. I gotta work on my Australian. Go back to the screen. Man, I'm charged up to be here with you guys tonight. We're gonna make a casserole after this. We're gonna make a casserole. It's gonna be fun. We're making this big ass casserole of some sort of goodness. Ah, man, this is one of my favorite songs that I ever recorded. This is all Lapoo. If you guys ever are curious, check out Skullverizer. I don't often push my stuff, but I like this tone. This is all Lapoo with the SHB1 for bass. Out. Gosh, did I enjoy being really good at fucking singing death metal. But anyways, if you check it out, it's an older album. I recorded it long before I put it on here. I just happened to put it on Spotify. This is Skullverizer. I love the logo. I still really love the logo. I don't know that I'll ever be able to find it again. And it sucks if I ever do more stuff and want to put it on anything. I don't think I'll ever find the logo. And the guy, I don't think the guy who made it for me, I don't think he'll be able to reproduce it either. So yeah, I don't know about that. I look at it and that bums me out because it's such a sick logo, and you can actually read it. You can really actually read the logo. That's why I said, can you make it look like as unlegible but super legible as possible? And he's like snowballing this. He's like, yeah, you know what? I could totally do that. And you can read it perfectly if you just look at it from a certain angle. Anyways, yeah. I just like that particular song, and the tone sounds good, especially for given what I was using and given what techniques I was using at the time. So what did we go over today? We went over a lot. Bo, you came at the worst of times. I'm about to wrap it up. I've been on here since about 5, and it was a really good, solid 2 bills. I had a great time tonight, guys, and I'm going to be back tomorrow. Next weekend, we will be, hopefully, don't quote me on this, please, not yet, but hopefully we're going to be showcasing our first beta for NAM Universal, and we're going to start making some of our promotional material and such. Cannot wait to share that with you. It's going to bring a lot of new people over here. It is. It's going to bring likely going to bring a lot of new people over to see us, and we'll see what happens, I guess. I'm pretty excited about it. How about you guys? Are you guys excited about it? I could not be more excited about it, but man, I've taken some time off working on the pack that's going with it, so I really have to just hop off here and immediately go into working on that pack so I can send what I have over to Chris at WaveMind, the wonderful company that is making this. We're making it together. Some really inspired conversations happening in the group chat regarding this plugin, and I just seeing our staff work along with Chris and the ideas bouncing and flowing back and forth. This has really become way less of a, hey, well, you want to build this plugin for us, and as a collab, it's become way more of a group project. If it's not less of a collaboration, being that like usually it's just the collaboration is us tossing, us tossing an idea at someone and someone tossing the idea back. In this case, WaveMind, Chris at WaveMind and the staff here, we've all worked really, really close together on this. And we can't wait to involve some of you guys as well as beta testers. We're going to get Pedro involved in beta testing, hopefully with us here. I can't wait to do that. It's very, very exciting. Now, man, this is what a great cover this is. Just squirrel brain today, guys. I don't like this version of it. That pisses me off. This band recorded this song, and then when they re-recorded it, you could tell that someone told the singer to like take it down a notch from the original version. It sucks. It's not nearly as good. Anyways, I'm excited for NAM Universal. I'm going to go work on the toolkit that we're sending along. It's coming along with hundreds of pedals, hundreds of amps, likely hundreds of IRs. It's going to come along with a giant stack of amazing things. And then there's going to be a link right to Tone Hunt directly in the plugin. You'll be able to hit it and go straight to a Tone Hunt window that'll open up to likely your account. If you're already registered there, then your account will already be kind of like flowing. Fire it open, your browser, and then just download the new things. I'm about to go to Tone Hunt and see some new things. I haven't been on Tone Hunt in about 3 weeks to a month. So there's going to be a ton more stuff from some of the people that we're working with likely, and I can't wait. Also, putting this out there, if you are Slammin' Mofo, if you know the creator, Slammin' Mofo, have him get at us. I don't know how to get I think it's a team of people actually, Slammin' Mofo Studios or something like that. They're working together on this stuff, but man, we got to get in touch. So if you know that dude, man, like throw him at us. We'd like to connect. Thanks so much, guys. I'm going to get out of here. I will be here tomorrow. I am going to try to get out for a lefty round of disc golf tomorrow. That'll be real interesting. And I'll be looking for some happy times tomorrow afternoon or evening, potentially. We'll see what's happening. And I'm going to talk to the team about something that we might be able to do. Whoa! It's something we might be able to do together, and like some sort of theme. What are we going to do tomorrow? No idea. So, guys, I will let you know then. And until then, thanks so much. As a challenge, head over to Tone Hunt, guys. Download some new stuff. Check some new stuff out. And let us know what you find. If you ever find anything really good over there, let us know. Let us know in the comments of even in a stream or something else in a video. And be like, hey, found this guy. He's making this stuff. You guys should check him out. And we would love to have some of their stuff come along with the plugin. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Cheers, and I'll see you guys next time.